Consistency is the key to building trust, authority, and credibility in your profession. If you're constantly switching strategies, posting on LinkedIn one week, and then next week you want to try a TikTok, and then maybe you're running a webinar, and then you're experimenting with Facebook ads or Google ads, what you're doing is you're not giving any single approach enough time to work. I'm Sylvia Garibaldi, founder and CEO of a well-established marketing training and done-for-you services company, tailored specifically for the modern legal and financial professional worldwide. While it's taken some trial and error to figure out which methods get the best results for professionals who are looking to grow their practices, fast forward to today, my team and I have nailed down and perfected a process that has helped so many of our clients consistently achieve outstanding results and create a legacy for their practices. I created the Serve First, Sell Later marketing podcast to give you simple, actionable, non-salesy, and results-driven marketing to grow your legal or financial practice like so many of our clients have. If you're a lawyer, mediator, financial, or divorce professional who is looking to become highly visible and wants to create a practice that makes an impact, then you're in the right place. Let's dive in. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to episode 66 of the Serve First, Sell Later marketing podcast. I'm your host, Sylvia Garibaldi. If you're a lawyer, mediator, or divorce professional, you already know how crucial marketing is to grow your practice. But let's be real. Marketing today feels like an endless race to keep up with whatever's trending. So 1 minute you're told that TikTok is the future, the next someone swears that you have to have a YouTube channel. Then before you even get a chance to implement those, another expert's shouting, forget about social media, SEO is the only thing that matters. And this has to stop. This constant cycle of chasing the next big thing, that's what we call the shiny object syndrome. And it's distracting you from building a marketing strategy that actually works for your practice. So today we're breaking it all down. So why do we fall for the shiny object syndrome? How is it wasting your time, money, and energy? And most importantly, how do you break free and create a strategy that attracts the right clients consistently? Because let's be honest here, the most successful professionals aren't the ones trying everything. They're the ones who master the right strategies and stick with them. All right, so let's get real about the shiny object syndrome and how it affects your marketing as a lawyer, mediator, or divorce professional. And so at its core, the shiny object syndrome is the tendency to chase the latest marketing trends instead of committing to a clear, effective strategy. And I can tell you that's a huge problem. I see that a lot with many professionals. Because in a profession built on trust, expertise, and credibility, inconsistency in your marketing can make you look unreliable, plain and simple. So how does this actually show up in your day-to-day marketing efforts? And so here are some red flags that you should be looking for. So if you're constantly switching tactics, so 1 month you're convinced that video marketing is the answer. So what you do is you start filming content for maybe Instagram Reels or Facebook. The next, you hear that email newsletters are the best way to get clients. So you shift focus. A few weeks later, someone tells you to double down on SEO. So you drop everything else. You're always in startup mode, but never really see the results because you don't stick to anything long enough. Okay? Another red flag is you're on every platform, but none of them consistently. I bet that probably resonates with a lot of you. Maybe you created a Facebook business page. You set up an Instagram account. You opened up a YouTube channel. Yet none of them are getting you consistent client inquiries. Why? Because marketing is not about being everywhere. It's about being effective where it matters most. Another red flag. You invest in marketing tools, but you never really use them. So you've signed up for lead generation software, maybe expensive CRM platforms, maybe online ad programs, but half of them sit untouched, right? Or worse, you're still paying for them, even though they don't bring in leads. The problem isn't the tools. It's the lack of clear strategy before investing in them. So why does this happen? And I would say that there's a couple of big reasons. One is what we call FOMO, fear of missing out. So you may see other lawyers, mediators, or other professionals posting flashy content on Instagram, maybe Facebook, maybe LinkedIn, and suddenly you feel like you're falling behind. And so that pressure to keep up makes you jump into trends without a plan. Lack of clear marketing goals. If you don't have a clear marketing strategy, like defining who your ideal clients are, how they find you, what actions you want them to take, then everything feels like a potential opportunity. But here's the thing, without real structure, these new ideas, they just become distractions. Competitor influence is another big one. So maybe you saw a local law firm running Google ads, and now you're wondering, should I be doing this too? Or you noticed another divorce coach using YouTube for lead generation. So you consider jumping in to do video marketing, but without a strategy and without consistency. So here's the thing. Just because something works for someone else, it doesn't mean it will work for your audience, your brand, and your specific area of expertise. This is why a lot of our clients come to seek us out, because they're not sure, is this going to work for me based on who my audience is? What I represent, my specific area of expertise. They need guidance. And so if this is you, I encourage you to set up a strategy call with me. There's a link in the show notes so that I can help you figure this out. But here's the bottom line. Marketing is always evolving, and staying informed is super important. But chasing every trend without a long-term strategy really is a recipe for inconsistency, wasted money, and a lot of frustration. So instead of asking, what's the latest marketing trend I should try? I want you to start asking, what marketing strategy actually aligns with my strengths and brings in high-quality clients? So we've defined what the shiny object syndrome is and why it happens. So now I want to chat a little bit about what it actually costs, what it costs you as a lawyer or mediator, divorce professional. And trust me, the price can be steep. So number one is it kills your marketing effectiveness. So what do I mean by that? Consistency is the key to building trust, authority, and credibility in your profession. If you're constantly switching strategies, posting on LinkedIn one week, and then next week you want to try a TikTok, and then maybe you're running a webinar, and then you're experimenting with Facebook ads or Google ads, what you're doing is you're not giving any single approach enough time to work. So think about it. Confused messaging equals lost clients. So one day your marketing talks about amicable divorce mediation. The next, you're focusing in on high conflict litigation. A week later, you're pushing DIY legal templates. If potential clients don't understand exactly what you offer, why should they trust you? Right? Your audience also needs a clear, consistent message. So in the areas of divorce and family and estate planning law, they are pretty emotional, life-changing matters. So people looking for help in this space are not impulse buyers, okay? They need to trust that you have stable expertise. So when your marketing keeps changing, they hesitate because they're unsure what they're signing up for. I hope that makes sense. And marketing isn't just about getting seen, it's about being remembered. So the more you pivot, the less memorable you become. And so your competitors who show up consistently with a clear strategy, they're the ones people turn to when they're ready to hire. So the second concern about cost is that it can waste your budget, right? So marketing costs money. We all know that. Whether you're running ads, whether you're hiring a marketing agency or investing in software, every shift in strategy eats up your resources. So here's what it could look like. You buy expensive marketing tools that you don't use. So maybe you signed up for an AI-driven client intake system or maybe premium LinkedIn, thinking it's going to transform your business. But without a real strategy in place, it sits unused, and we know this. Or worse, confuses potential clients with impersonal, inconsistent communication. You could be spending money on ads without a long-term strategy. That's another big one. So Google ads, Facebook ads, and LinkedIn promotions and ads can be powerful, but only if you understand how to use them and use them correctly in order to get the best ROI. But if you're constantly testing different platforms without optimizing what's already working, you're just burning money. Okay? You could also be hiring marketers, but you don't let them execute long enough to see results. That is a huge one. People are interested in, well, let me just try this service for a month. Well, a month is not going to get you what you're looking for. You need consistency in order for you to see results. So you might have brought in a social media manager or engaged in social media marketing. Maybe you hired an SEO consultant or a PR agency. But if you keep changing direction before they even have time to generate results or leads for you, you're wasting your own investment. You truly are. Because it's not a one-time 30-day thing that's going to get you the results. And if anybody is selling you instant results in 30 days, run quickly because marketing is a long-term game. And so if you're constantly switching lanes, your budget isn't being invested and it's being drained. So that's important. And so what happens as well in the legal and mediation spaces is that trust is everything. And so clients want to work with professionals who seem stable, who are confident, who are experienced. But when your marketing is all over the place, it sends the wrong message. I can't tell you how many times I get on strategy calls with professionals, and they're all over the map. They have one strategy here. They're thinking maybe they'll target this audience there. You can find their marketing on different platforms, but without one consistent messaging, it's difficult to figure out who they are and what they stand for. So we see this a lot, and that's why a lot of professionals seek out our support. So how does this inconsistency damage trust? Well, it can significantly because clients are getting mixed signals. So if your website talks about compassionate mediation, but your social media is talking all about litigation, what's happening there? Potential clients feel uncertain about whether you are the right mediator for them because they don't really see that consistently in your social media. Okay? Referrals become harder to get. Yes, they do. Other attorneys, maybe other referral partners, they want to refer clients to reliable professionals. If your marketing looks like you're still figuring out your positioning, they may hesitate to send people your way. And people don't know what you stand for. So if your brand message changes every few months, and let me tell you, I see a lot of that, it's difficult for anyone, potential clients, referral partners, even your own team, to define what makes you different. And if they can't define it, they won't recommend you. So what's the takeaway here? Marketing isn't just about trying everything. It's about doing the right things consistently. And what we see is the professionals who build the strongest reputations aren't the ones jumping on every new trend. They're the ones who stay consistent, clear, and committed to their message. So by the way, if you're finding this episode valuable, I've covered related topics in past episodes that can help deepen your understanding. So be sure to check out these episodes, and I'll drop some of the links in the show notes for you so you can easily find them. All right, let's move into solutions. So how do you avoid marketing distractions and actually build a strategy that works? So the thing is, it's not about doing more. It's about doing the right things consistently. So I think step one is build consistency in your content marketing. So success in marketing isn't about bursts of inspiration. As I said, it's about being consistent. So think about it. If a workplace mediator or maybe a collaborative lawyer posts 5 times in 1 week, then disappears for 2 months, potential clients won't take them seriously because they're not finding them consistently. And they'll just assume that you're either too busy to help or inconsistent in your practice. So what is one of the solutions or steps you can engage in? Create a content calendar. And this content calendar is going to ensure that you, A, stay visible without constantly scrambling for what to post. It's going to also avoid reactive marketing, where you post whatever seems popular that week. And it's going to reinforce your expertise by strategically sharing content that speaks to your audience's concerns. I hope this is making sense. So let me share an example of a workplace mediator. If you specialize in resolving workplace disputes, your content calendar might look like this. On Mondays, you create a LinkedIn post about a common workplace conflict and how mediation can help. On Wednesdays, maybe you post a case study showing how mediation led to a successful resolution. And then on Fridays, you can post a short video answering a frequently asked question like, what's the difference between mediation and HR intervention? Okay, so see how we've created 3 posts. And the goal is for you to stay top of mind with HR professionals and business owners without constantly reinventing the wheel. Let me share another example for a collaborative divorce lawyer. If you focus on collaborative divorce, your content calendar could include on Tuesdays, maybe a post on what not to do during divorce negotiations. On Thursdays, you could do a short blog on why collaborative law saves time, money, and stress. And on Fridays, you can share a client success story about peaceful divorce resolution. One of the consistent things that we do at SG & Associates is we know for sure that in every week of our content calendar, we're going to have one release of a new podcast episode. So you'll always find a social media post on that, at least consistently, you should. And you'll also find a LinkedIn newsletter as well. So those are 2 very consistent pieces that we always have in our content marketing calendar. So think about what are some of the consistencies that you can put into your calendar. And you should have a calendar so that you are being visible on an ongoing basis. So step 2 is you want to set clear, realistic goals. So one of the biggest reasons professionals fall for marketing trends is because they don't have any clear goals, right? So before you jump into a new strategy, ask yourself, does this align with my long-term goals, right? So maybe you want to purchase a new software. So you need to ask yourself, if I purchase this new software, does it align with my long-term goals? Okay, so if you're a workplace mediator who primarily gets clients through HR referrals, does it make sense to spend time creating videos on Facebook? Okay, probably not. So instead, focus on maybe LinkedIn networking and content marketing that would align more with your practice and where you know you're going to find your ideal clients. So will this add value or is it just a distraction? That's another important question to ask yourself. So 2 questions to ask yourself is, before I jump into this, does this align with my long-term goals? And will this add value or is it just a distraction? Another quick example, if you're a collaborative lawyer and you're seeing those competitors running flashy Instagram ads, should you do the same? Well, not necessarily, because if your ideal clients are high net worth individuals looking for amicable divorces, they aren't engaging on Instagram, right? Those ads are not going to deliver ROI for you. Instead, maybe investing in SEO for high intent Google searches could be a smarter move. Another question to ask yourself is, do I have the resources to execute this properly? A lot of professionals spread themselves way too thin. They start a YouTube channel, but they never post. They launch a podcast, but quit after 3 episodes. If you can't sustain a strategy, it's not a strategy, it's a distraction. So here's the solution. Choose 1 to 2 core marketing channels and go all in. Whether that's a blog, email newsletters, LinkedIn, video, whatever it is, commit to those 1 to 2 core marketing channels. So step 3 is allocate resources wisely. So marketing is an investment, not an expense, but only if you're spending strategically, right? So avoid the try everything trap. You don't need to be on every social media platform. Pick the ones where your ideal clients are actually active. So you don't need every expensive marketing tool. If you aren't using that $99 a month email automation software, cancel it and simplify your approach. You want to commit to a strategy long enough to see results, and many professionals are just quitting way too soon. If you launch a referral outreach campaign, don't stop after 2 weeks because you haven't seen immediate leads. Consistency builds momentum. And it's going to be super important to leverage your strengths. If you really dislike video, focus on written content. If you don't enjoy writing, then double down on maybe podcasting or networking, or maybe outsource your writing. If you're not tech savvy, hire someone to handle marketing implementation while you focus on serving clients. So marketing is really not about doing more, it's about doing the right things. And so I encourage you to plan ahead with a content calendar, set those clear goals before chasing those trends, because those goals should stop you from chasing those trends, and always allocate your time and budget wisely. Okay, moving on to a game changer that way too many lawyers, mediators, and divorce professionals overlook, and that is regular marketing audits. So what do I mean by this? So most professionals launch a marketing strategy, whether it's a website, social media, ads, or networking, but they never stop to evaluate if it's actually working. Instead, they just keep adding more tactics on top, hoping something will stick. But here's the truth. More marketing doesn't always mean better marketing. So every 3 to 6 months, you should be taking a step back and auditing what you're doing. And what this does is this will save you time, money, and effort, because instead of blindly chasing new ideas, you'll focus on what's already working. So here's what to assess. You want to look at your performance metrics. What's actually working? If you're not tracking data-driven results, you're making decisions based on guesswork. Instead of assuming a strategy is working, you need to look at the numbers. So here are some key questions to ask yourself. How many client inquiries did you get from each marketing channel? Maybe from your website, social media, email, referrals, ads, whatever. Try to track as much as possible. What's your conversion rate? Meaning, how many website visitors actually contact you? How many consultation calls turn into paying clients? Are you seeing a return on investment from paid strategies like maybe Google ads or maybe other types of ads? So here's a quick example. A collaborative divorce lawyer invests in LinkedIn ads, but realizes that 90% of clients are not coming from those LinkedIn ads. They're coming from SEO and referrals. So what I would recommend is, instead of continuing to spend on ads, they should double down on content marketing and networking with referral partners who refer high-value cases. So the next thing you want to really look at is your messaging still aligned, right? So how do we measure this? Content relevance is super important. So your marketing message should always reflect your expertise on all of your channels, your values and your audience's needs. But as your practice grows, your messaging may need updates. So here are some key questions to ask. Is your website content still relevant to the types of cases or clients that you want to attract? Does your social media marketing speak to the right audience? Have your clients' needs shifted? This is a big one. If your messaging is outdated, potential clients may not feel like you understand their situation. So let me share a quick example. A workplace mediator initially focused on small business disputes, but is now working mostly with corporate HR departments. So their website still highlights helping small businesses resolve conflicts instead of HR mediation strategies for large organizations, right? So after doing an audit, you're going to have to revamp your content and your marketing to continue to attract the right audience. So are you posting for the sake of it? Many professionals fall into the trap of posting just to post. But if a marketing channel is not generating inquiries, it's time to adjust or eliminate it. So, key questions to ask. Which platforms are actually bringing in clients? Look at the analytics. A lot of these platforms offer you free analytics, and you can figure out the number of impressions and determine, as I've been posting consistently, I'm seeing more client inquiries coming in. Is that a result of my social media strategy? Are you getting engagement, right? Comments, shares, DMs, or just posting into a void? Is your audience even on that platform, right? So you need to ask these questions. So as an example, if a collaborative lawyer spends 5 hours plus a week on Instagram, but after an audit, they realize that most of their clients are finding them through a Google search. So why are we wasting time on Instagram? Right? So shift your efforts to publishing high-value blogs that really rank on Google. So important to make these decisions because this will impact the direction that you need to take with your marketing. So before jumping onto a new trend, you should use this 3-step decision-making framework. So number 1, does it align with your core objectives? So just because it's popular doesn't mean it's going to fit your practice and work. So I want you to ask yourself, does this attract my ideal client or is it just trendy? Does this align with my business model and expertise? And will this improve long-term brand credibility? Okay, so that's part 1 of the framework. Part 2 of the framework is what's the cost versus benefit? So you're going to do a quick ROI check. So every marketing decision has a time and money cost. Before investing in something new, do a quick ROI. How much time and effort will this take? How long before I will see client inquiries? And will this replace an ineffective strategy or is it just adding more work? Okay. And part 3 of this framework is what does your team or trusted network think? So if you have partners, staff, or a marketing team, get their input before making a marketing move. They're going to see the blind spots that you're missing. Okay. So our clients ask us this all the time. When they're about to engage in something else, they're saying, well, what do you think about this channel? Or do you think this could work? Right? So if you're a solo practitioner, check in. Check in with your colleagues. Check in with your marketing team. Instead of asking, should I do this? Ask more about, do you think this aligns with my strengths and practice? Have you tried this? Has it worked before? Is this going to add more value? Okay. So the reality is you don't have to do everything. Marketing is not about doing more, it's about doing what works. So by auditing your marketing every 3 to 6 months, what you're doing is you're going to cut out what's wasting time and money. You're going to focus on strategies that actually bring in clients. And more importantly, you're going to avoid the shiny object syndrome and stay on track. And everybody wants that. Everybody wants to stay on track and get those results. So I've shared how avoiding the shiny object syndrome and creating a focused marketing strategy that genuinely attracts clients and builds your professional practice can really make a difference. But I'm going to be honest with you. Success in marketing and in your career doesn't come from doing everything. It comes from having clarity about your goals, confidence in your strengths, and consistency in your actions. Yes, I know marketing today can feel pretty noisy. It's tempting to chase every trend or jump onto every new platform and try to be everywhere else at once, especially when your competitors are doing that. But remember, your success is not defined by how many platforms you're on or how many trends you follow or how many tools you use. It's really defined by your ability to show up consistently and authentically where it matters most. And it's defined by how clearly your ideal clients understand exactly how you can help them. This is a super important point because your ideal clients need to understand what you can do for them. And if you're on multiple platforms with multiple messages, it just creates a whole lot of confusion. So above all, it's defined by your courage to say no to distractions so that you can say a bigger yes or a more meaningful yes to the strategies that truly work. If you're feeling overwhelmed, take a breath. You don't need to be everywhere. You just need to be focused. Choose clarity over chaos and choose strategy over trends. Because when you do, I promise you, when you commit to a clear, consistent approach, you'll not only attract more clients and referrals, you'll also build a practice that you're truly proud of. So, the clients who need you, they are waiting. Now it's your turn to show up, show them who you are, and help them find their way. You've got this. Thank you for tuning in today. If you found this episode helpful, I'd love to hear from you. Send me a message or share your biggest takeaway. And if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe so that you don't miss future episodes packed with actionable strategies to grow your practice. See you in the next episode.